So do you also wish to add your BigCommerce order details into Google Sheets? Then give me 10 minutes and I'll show you how to do this. So hello all, welcome back to Pabbly Connect, and in this video we are going to understand how to add order details from BigCommerce to Google Sheets for tracking. So like you, I also use BigCommerce to sell my products online, and now what I want is that as soon as we receive a new order from BigCommerce, I want to add the order details into my Google Sheets. So to do this, we are simply going to create a connection between BigCommerce and Google Sheets, and we are going to create this connection without knowing any programming or coding language using an amazing automation software which is Pabbly Connect. So if you also want to create this amazing automation for your own business, then for that you have to come with me towards my screen. Welcome to my screen everyone. In this video I'll show you how to automatically add new orders from BigCommerce to Google Sheets. This integration helps you to easily track the orders, analyze the performance and manage fulfillment without any manual copy pasting. So let's streamline your e-commerce workflow step by step. So to do this, I'm just going to open a new tab and I'm just going to look for the landing page of Pabbly Connect simply by searching pabbly.com/connect in my browser. So Pabbly Connect is an easy to use automation tool using which we're going to create a connection between BigCommerce and Google Sheets. Pabbly Connect is a tool which helps you to create automations without knowing any programming or coding language. Alright, after opening the landing page of Pabbly Connect, we're just going to move on further and create this automation. But before we move on further, I'll just show you something really helpful. This is the Pabbly community where automation users, business owners and marketers connect. Pabbly community is a space where users share their ideas, workflow tips and doubts, and there are experts to solve all of them. So if you're stuck at any step, the community is a great resource for guidance. And if you also want to join this amazing community, the link is given in the description box below. Make sure to check it out. Alright, I'm just going to open the landing page of Pabbly Connect once again to create this automation. Over here we have two options. One is sign in and the another one is sign up for free. So if you are a new user, you can simply click on this sign up for free and you're going to get 100 of tasks free every month to explore the application. But over here I'm an existing user, so I'm simply going to click on this button which says sign in, and once I'm just going to click on this sign in, it is opening all Pabbly apps, and over you're going to see all the tools and applications offered by Pabbly. But in today's video we are going to use Pabbly Connect because we are connecting different applications. So I'm simply going to click on this access now right over here to access my Pabbly Connect account, and now it is opening the dashboard of my Pabbly Connect account. And to get started, I'm just going to simply click on this button which says create workflow, and now it is asking me to select the workflow builder, the new one or the classic one. So the new workflow builder is more faster, flexible and ideal for those who want a modern interface, while the classic one on the other hand is perfect for the users who prefer tried and tested setup. So you can use any one of this builder to create the automation workflow. I'm just going to use this new one, so I'm just going to go towards this select of the new one. Now it is asking me for the workflow name, so I'm simply going to enter the name of my workflow right over here. Then I'm just going to simply select the folder in which I want to save this workflow. So over here on my dashboard you can see multiple folders which I've already created in which I save my workflows. So if you also want to create a new folder, you can go towards this create new folder button and create your own. I've already created many, so I'm just going to save my workflow in one of these only and click on this button which says create. And once I'm just going to click on this create, it is going to open the most important window of our automation, which is our workflow window. So this is the most important window because we have trigger and action in this. Trigger and actions are the two main principles on which our workflow is going to run. Trigger means when this happens and action means do this. So by this you can understand that the trigger starts the process while the actions are results for the same. Over here for a trigger application, I'm just going to simply select it as BigCommerce, and for action I'm just going to simply select it as Google Sheets, because what I want is that whenever we're going to receive a new order from BigCommerce, I want to add the order details right over here in my spreadsheet. Alright, so first we're just going to set up this trigger. For that I'm just going to go towards this add trigger button and I'm just going to simply search for BigCommerce and select it. And now for the trigger event, I'm just going to simply select it as new order created and click on this connect. Now in order to connect my BigCommerce account, I'm just going to go towards this add a new connection, and it is asking me for the store hash key, client ID and the access token. And how are we going to get that? So to get this, I'm just going to open my BigCommerce account. From the left hand of the side, I'm just going to go towards this settings, and after coming over here towards this settings, we have to scroll and look for this, which is store level API accounts. And then we have to go towards this store level API account, and from here we have to go towards this create API account. And now it is asking me for the token type, so I'm just going to simply select it as V2 V3 API token. Now for the name, I'm just going to simply enter the name right over here, which is new order. Let's say I'm just going to simply enter it as new order. Now over here is the API path, and in this API path only we have the store hash key. Over here in the help text, it has clearly mentioned that we are going to get the store hash key in this API path, which is after stores slash and before slash v3. Alright, so I'm just going to open this API path, and as you can see that this is my store hash key. So I'm simply going to copy it right from here and paste it right over here. Alright, and now I'm just going to move on further. Now I'm just going to give Pabbly all the permissions right over here. I'm just going to give the permission for content, customers, information and settings, marketings, order transactions, payments, payment methods, and much more. So over here you also have to give Pabbly all the permissions it is asking for, because your data is secure with Pabbly, no need to worry. And as you can see that I've successfully given Pabbly all the permissions, and now I'm just going to move on further and click on this button which says save. And once I'm just going to click on this save, over here is the client ID and the access token which we wished for. So I'm just going to copy both of these, and I'm just going to paste it right over here. One by one I'm just going to copy the client ID and access token and paste it right over here. And after pasting both of this, I'm just going to simply click on this button which says save. And once I'm just going to click on this save, it is saying connection created successfully. Alright, and I'm just going to click on this save and send test request. And once I'm just going to click on this save and send test request, it is saying waiting for webhook response. And in order to capture this webhook response, we have to do a test submission. I'm just going to open my store, and I'm just going to purchase a product right from here. I'm just going to simply purchase this via basket. So I'm just going to add this to my cart right over here. And now I'm just going to click on this checkout and purchase this. Alright, so I'm just going to simply purchase this. I'm just going to enter the email address, click on this continue. Then I'm just going to simply enter the shipping details right over here, move on further. I'm just going to simply enter all of my details, and then I'm just going to go towards this continue once again. And now over here I'm just going to simply enter my card details, using which I'm just going to purchase this product. So I'm just going to simply enter my card details right over here. Then I'm just going to move on further and click on this place order. And once I'm just going to click on this place order, yes, you can see that we have successfully placed this order, and with this it is saying order confirmed. And now we're going to see that this is my order number 2, and with this we have successfully completed the test submission. So now I'm just going to open my workflow, and as you can see that Pabbly has successfully captured the response. Over we're going to see that this is the order number which we placed right now, and with this we have successfully completed our trigger step. And now whenever we're going to place a new order, or let's say whenever someone is going to purchase anything from our BigCommerce store, automatically their order details will be captured right over here, and the workflow is going to get triggered. But as you can see that in the response we only have received this order number, but I also want the name, email address, city, and another details to add it right over here in my Google Sheets. So what I'm just going to do is I'm just going to simply add an action step and get all of these details. For that I'm just going to go towards this add new action step, and now for the action application, once again I'm just going to simply select it as BigCommerce. So I'm just going to search for it and select it, but this time for the event I'm just going to simply select it as get order by ID and click on this connect. I've recently connected my BigCommerce, so I'm just going to go towards this select existing connection and then save. And now it is asking me for the order ID. So as you can see over here the order number was 101, and this is my ID. So I'm just going to simply enter 101 right over here, but we are not going to enter it manually, but instead I'm just going to map it. So you must be wondering what is mapping. So mapping is a method by Pabbly which means inserting the data from the previous step, and when we insert the data from the previous step, automatically our data turns dynamic and change with every new response received. So I'm just going to simply map this order ID and click on this save and send test request, and as you can see that we have successfully received all the details now. Or we're going to see all the details. You're going to see the address, the phone number, the email address, and the name too. And with this we have successfully captured the details of the one who did the submission, or you can say who purchased our product. And with this I'm just going to add these details into my Google Sheets. Now I'm just going to move on further, close this, add another action step, and now for the action application I'm just going to simply select it as Google Sheets. So I'm just going to search for Google Sheets, and then I'm just going to simply select Google Sheets right over here. And now for the event I'm just going to simply select add new row and click on this connect. Now in order to connect Google Sheets you have to go towards this add a new connection and sign in with Google. And once you go towards this sign in with Google, Pabbly is going to ask you to select the Gmail account with the help of which you want to connect your Google Sheets. And after selecting the Gmail account, Pabbly is going to ask you you for some permissions. So you have to give Pabbly all the permissions it is asking for, because your data is secure with Pabbly. And once you give Pabbly all the permissions, automatically your Google Sheets account will be connected. I've already connected my Google Sheets account, so I'm just going to simply go to this select existing connection and then save. And with this, we have successfully connected our Google Sheets. Now I'm just going to move on further. I'm just going to simply select the spreadsheet right over here, which is BigCommerce order details. Then I'm just going to select the sheet, and one by one I'm just going to map all the details. First, I'm just going to map this order ID right over here. Then I'm just going to move on further and map all the details one by one. So as you already know, we do mapping to run our workflow in real time, so you have to keep in mind that you map the details correctly, otherwise your workflow is not going to run in real time. All right, so I'm just going to simply map all of these details right over here. Then I'm just going to move on further, and now I'm just going to map the email address and then the street address. So I'm just going to look for the address and map it. Then I'm just going to simply map the city, and at last I'm just going to simply map the state right over here. And after mapping all of these details, I'm just going to click on this save and send test request. And once I'm just going to click on this save and send test request, we have received the positive response that we have successfully added the details in our Google Sheets. Alright, so I'm just going to open my Google Sheets, and as you can see, the details have been successfully added, be it the first name, last name, email address, the street address, the city or the state. Automatically the details have been added. And with this, we have successfully completed our workflow. Now whenever we're going to receive a new order from BigCommerce, automatically the details will be added in my Google Sheets. And all of this is going to happen in backend. We don't have to come back and again to our workflow to click on save and send test request. But now I'm just going to test this workflow once, and this time I'm just going to give a real-time example. For that, I'm just going to open my BigCommerce store once again, and now this time I'm just going to do test submission once again, but with the new details, and it's just going to check that if the details are getting added in my Google Sheets or not. Alright, so I'm just going to purchase this product right over here. Let's say I'm just going to increase the quantity this time, and I'm just going to go to this checkout. And once I'm just going to go to this checkout, and let's say for the email address this time I'm just going to keep it as this. I'm just going to move on further and enter all of the details right over here. I'm just going to move on further. I'm just going to simply enter the payment details too, which is the card details, and I'm just going to make this purchase. Alright, so I'm simply going to enter all of my details and click on this place order. And once I'm just going to click on this place order, yes, you can see that we have successfully placed this order, and the order number is 102. Alright, so now I'm just going to open my Google Sheets, and as you can see, the details have been added right over here within seconds and in real time. You're going to see the order ID, the first name, the last name, the email address, or we're going to see the street address, city and state. And with this, we have successfully completed our workflow, and now whenever we're going to receive a new order from BigCommerce, automatically my workflow is going to get triggered and the details will be added right over here in my spreadsheet. We don't have to come back and again to our workflow to click on save and send test request. So yes, now go try this amazing automation for your own business too, because right now we are offering a free trial of Pabbly Connect. And while trying, if you have any questions related to the video or the workflow, you can directly comment on this video. See you in the next video with many more automation tips, everyone. Thank you for watching. So not only these applications, but with the help of Pabbly Connect, you can connect many more applications. So now if you have any doubts, you can reach us at support@pabbly.com. If you have any queries, you can reach us at forum.pabbly.com. And if you have any pricing related issues, you can follow this URL. And now go try this amazing automation for your own business too, because right now we are offering a free trial of Pabbly Connect.